All right, let's actually get serious here for a second. If you're blowing 5K plus a month on ads on a call funnel and you're not booking as many calls as you'd like, your call conversion rate is low, your book rate is low, and you're not sure how to fix it or what exactly to do and get to that next level and start converting at 3% plus, this is one of those videos where you need to literally just sit down and just watch this video, because I literally sat down for about 4 hours putting together this 20-page document just detailing step by step everything that you need to do to get your landing page converting with paid traffic, actually booking calls at 3% plus consistently. And you probably know this, like if you're converting right now at 1%, if you up your conversion rate to 2%, you've literally doubled the amount of revenue that you can collect. If you're converting at 1% and you take it to 3%, you have quite literally tripled the amount of revenue that you can potentially collect on the back end just by increasing the conversion rate on your funnel. And you know, I don't need to tell you this is serious, because if you're spending money on your paid ads, then you want to be as efficient as possible so that you're making more money on the back end without spending more on ads. If you're new here and you're wondering why you should listen to me in the first place, my name is Brilliance. I've built funnels for some of the biggest info guys in the space, Neuro Knowledge, Simon Bees, Casper SMC, and tons of others that I literally can't even mention in this video, to be quite honest. And we've done well over $20 million for our clients directly through our funnels. And without further ado, let's dive in. There's literally nothing else to do, you know? Let's go. So how do we get you, my friend, from, blowing 5K plus a month on ads, not booking enough calls, and actually converting at 3% plus, so you have enough calls on the calendar, you can actually make more without spending more on ads, is by first understanding the fundamentals of, what's going to make your funnel convert. And the first thing is going to be your ad. So we have to establish one thing correctly, right? And that is that your ads are speaking to the right type of person, because if that is not established, then none of this matters. Like, you can literally just click off this video because it's not going to apply to you unless your ads are fixed. So if you, sorry about that. If you feel like your ads are targeting the right type of people, if you have like good metrics in your ad, and you have good messaging, then you can continue watching this video, because the thing is, what you give Meta is what Meta is going to give you back. So if you're attracting bad leads on the front end due to poor messaging or creatives and stuff like that, then you have to save this document. Just save this document, save this video, then fix that, and then come back and watch this video. I'm also going to be sharing this document, so whichever one you find, feel free to save that, and then you can come back to this video and then watch it. Watch me break everything down. So, but if your creatives and messaging are good to go, then just keep reading. And by the way, if I blunder anywhere in this video, forgive me. This is just a raw video. I'm just trying to be as straightforward as possible. I don't want this to take time. I just want to do this as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So, number one, what are the key pieces of landing page conversion rate, right? So, I'm going to keep this very, very simple and easy to follow through with, because first we have to understand the psychology of a cold traffic buyer, aka someone who is coming from paid ads, right? They don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. You have no idea who you are. They're cruel. They're looking for a solution that is going to benefit them at the end of the day. They do not care they literally do not care about anything. If they could snap their fingers like this and get the problems fixed, they would do that. But they're on your page because they're looking for a solution that you potentially have. So, and these things are good things because now we understand who they are. So how do we ensure that we're converting at 3% minimum on your paid ads, right? Because think about it, if you're converting at 1%, like I mentioned in the intro of the video, and you fix this and you start converting at 2% or 3%, you have literally doubled or even tripled your revenue without spending more money on ads, without chucking any more money into ads. So it's quite literally insane, right? So, and more calls booked equals to more money. You just need more conversations and you're going to make more money. So take this very seriously, because you already matters. I don't need to sit down here and convince you as to why your conversion rate is important, especially when you're spending money on paid traffic. It's extremely important, right? So the key components for landing page messaging are the key components for landing page conversion. The key components for landing page messaging. My apologies, my friends. I was thinking I was trying to read something different, right? So messaging sits at the core of every single campaign, and without this, you cannot get to target your ICP to actually take the action that you want. And everything gets easier after you figure out, okay, what is the direction that I'm trying to go? So what we're trying to do here is not just tell you, hey, okay, go fix your headline, okay, go do this. We're actually trying to get you to understand what the fundamentals are that are going to lead you to be able to create a good headline, a good landing page structure, actually structure everything so that it makes sense for the person who's landing on your page, right? So the first is going to be your deliverables. Second is going to be your direct outcome, benefits of the outcome, your core differentiators, your time frame, the problems, pains, circumstances, and situations that your clients are in, how you actually get results for your clients, case studies, your questions and objections. If your offer is a commoditized or non-commoditized offer, we're going to break all of that down, and then your advertise, right? So I'm going to try to keep this as focused on just the funnel as possible, because a lot of times what happens is I'm talking about the funnel, and then before you know it, I'm talking about the back-end systems, I'm talking about the ads. So some of these things still are going to apply to your ads and even your back-end systems that you have. I'm sorry about that, my friends. I don't know what's happening. I'm just coughing. Who knows? So some of these things are going to, apply to, different parts of your funnel. But for this video, we're just going to be using them for the funnel. And again, this is a lot of things. We're not necessarily going to use everything to the maximum extent of, what it entails. This is just the things that you need to know if you want to dial in your funnel, right? This exclusive information. I've never shared this anywhere before. My God. Okay, so number one is breaking down the key components for your messaging. Cool, so let's go. So what are your deliverables, your actual deliverables? These are the things that they get. And by the way, I wanted to say something about your copy. If you're doing anything with copy, just think about it as trying to get someone to understand something, message as quickly as possible. That's, by the way, we're going to break that down. All right, so the tangible deliverables are the vehicle that helps them get to the direct outcome, which we're going to break down in a second. So for example, if you're selling a trading offer, your deliverables could literally be, your daily live trading and mentorship, private Discord, 24/7 accountability, prop firm funding pathway, your challenge strategy, performance tracking, etc. If you run a wholesaling offer, it could be the course, the live coaching calls, the templates, mentorship, network. If you run something like an Instagram theme page offer, and I have examples like this throughout this document that is going to just show you how everything is structured. If you run a mindset offer, it could be weekly coaching sessions, text access, Telegram, maybe access to the community, maybe even, the mastermind recordings. Now, once we have these, we understand what the deliverables are, what we're actually giving to people to get them to the outcome. So the second step is going to be, what is this outcome that we're talking about? What is the direct outcome? So the direct outcome is quite literally what is the thing that they get from the deliverables. So what is the outcome of giving them all of the deliverables that we just listed, right? This is not, I'm going to help you make more money and quit your 9-to-5. That's another that's when you go one level higher, right? So now we're thinking about the thing before getting them to quit the 9-to-5, the thing before getting them to, scale their business, whatever the case might be. My apologies for all of the coughing. I don't know, I'll probably get my editor to cut this out if we have enough time. But if not, then I'm sorry. I truly apologize for that. So this is the thing that leads them to making, more money, if that's your, benefits of joining your offer or maybe quitting the 9-to-5. This is the thing before that. So some examples of for a trading offer is going to be, I'm going to help you get consistent and funded. This is not mentioned, quitting their 9-to-5 or maybe replacing their direct income. Forgive my incredible Nigerian accent. But again, for an open market wholesaling offer, it could be, your direct outcome could be sign your first contract in the next 30 days and close your next 10 to 20K wholesale deal using our open market wholesale system. For an Instagram theme page offer, it could be, I'm going to help you grow your theme page from 0 to 100K followers and help you monetize that. For a mindset offer, it's going to be, I'm going to help you remove your subconscious blocks, limitations, and beliefs. And again, think about this. All of this is doing is saying, this is what I'm going to get you as a result of the deliverables. That is all this is. This is not, I'm going to make you more money. This is none of that. This is none of the benefits. This is just directly what are we doing? What do the deliverables get them? Literally. Now we get to the other layer, which is the benefit of the outcome. And the benefit of the outcome is the thing that they get as a result of the outcome. And by the way, listen, I don't mean to sound like, one of my clients newer here, but you're going to get some, okay? This is me trying to break down everything for you so that we can get to the actual part, which is the easiest part, which is actually, increasing your conversion rate. This is the thing that you need, right? So this is the benefit of the outcome. The benefit of the outcome is the thing that they get as a result of the direct outcome. And this is basically the thing that comes after they have received that outcome, what we talked about. This is where we can say, okay, cool. Now I've given you the direct outcome. Now I can help you make more money in your business. Now I can help you quit your 9-to-5. I can help you to double your revenue, maybe even quadruple your revenue, right? I can literally do that. But only after we're giving them direct outcome, right? So some examples for a trading offer could be, I'm going to help you get consistently profitable or quit your job, or maybe replace your full-time income with trading. Another one could be for a wholesaling offer. I'm going to help you build a business that gets you out of your 9 to 5 and builds you financial freedom. For the Instagram theme page offer, it's going to be, I'm going to help you earn an extra 3 to 5K a month and replace your full-time income. For the mindset offer, it could be, I'm going to help you 2 to 5x your revenue, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. It is the direct outcomes that we find before we get to the benefits. So the problem is a lot of people don't really separate these. They kind of mix them together. And when you separate this and you actually just articulate these like differently, it's going to help you a lot when it comes to converting people. And we're going to break all of that down. So just chill, just relax, okay? Everything, we're going to get to everything, I promise you, okay? So what are your core differentiators? And I'm not trying to waste your time. I know you're a rich person watching this. I'm not trying to waste your time. If you need any help whatsoever implementing this, just click the link. It's probably going to be anywhere in the description. Just click the link, book in a call with me, and I'll see if we can help you. So this is the thing that separates them from the rest of your markets. And by the way, that's only if you feel like this is something that you actually need. If this is something where you don't want to go and go through all of these things that I'm going through and try to like build out the copy yourself, just like this YouTube thing right now is like, I don't know how they do the structure and all these things, but like I'm just telling you like what it is. If you don't like, a lot of our clients come to us because they don't want to like do this themselves. They don't want to go ahead and try to like figure things out themselves, do all this back end stuff and like script ads and write landing page copy. So if you don't want to do any of that, you don't want to deal with any of that, just click that link in the description, book in a call with me, and that's it. So what are your core differentiators? So this is the thing that separates you from the rest of the market. It could be 1, 2, or maybe even a couple of things, right? So some examples could be, a trading offer. The core differentiator is going to be, I'm so confident in this system that if you don't get funded within 90 days, I'm going to personally trade with you until you are funded. And this is the same system that helped me achieve the world record for the highest profit payout of $4.5 million. And by the way, I'm pulling these examples. These are actually real examples for some of our clients who I'm not going to sit down here and air their business. But for the sake of this video, I'm just giving you some sauce that we have used for them, right? So for the open market wholesaling offer, it's going to be, for example, Google PPC and maybe innovation strategy. For the mindset offer, it's going to be being able to remove one's subconscious block, right? And number 5, this is going to be the typical time frame required to achieve the results with you, aka how long do I need to work with you before I see the results? Example is going to be for trading offer 90 days, for a wholesaling offer 30 days, for mindset offer 45, maybe 47, whatever the case might be. Now, what are the problems, pains, situations, and circumstances? This is one of the most important parts that you need to pay attention to. So this should be actual problems that your prospects have. This is not fluff. This is not like made up stuff that a lot of people do. This is actual things that your prospects are going through right now. And think about it from the mind frame that they are. Like think about your prospect like just sitting down, maybe just sitting down in the office like this. Like what are they thinking? What are the things what are the solutions they're trying to implement? Maybe they're trying to, go run some ads. Maybe they're trying to, go learn a couple side hustles. Like what are the things that they're going through right now, right? That it's not, hey, like I see a lot of things like ChatGPT, they just create like problems out of thin air, like literally things that are not problems. So you need to actually make sure these are real problems that your prospects are going through right now. You can pull this from sales calls. You can pull this from, literally speaking to your clients and literally just asking them questions, okay? So a lot of people make up problems for the market. You do not want to make that mistake, I promise you. It's not worth it. It doesn't pay off. So you just need to make sure that, your problems are actually pulled from direct conversations, because that's how you get your messaging to hit. Okay, so listen to your sales calls, and alternatively, you can just feed them into manners and ask you to list out the real problems. And by the way, if you use my invitation link right here, listen, I'm gonna get some more credits on manners if you use it. If you don't use it, that's fine as well. And you just ask it to list out some real problems identified from your most qualified sales calls, started from the closed deals. That's literally what you need to do. Now, for the trading offer, the problems could be uncertainty about trading industries or approaches, need for additional income, confused by conflicting trading advice, knowledge of trading concepts or inability to execute profitably, stress, revenge trading, psychological barriers, balancing learning with existing business or family obligations, cautious about financial commitments. For a wholesaling offer, it could be they have no idea where to start. They don't know how to generate the leads. They don't know how to sell the leads. They don't know how to scale past a couple of deals a month. They don't like to cold call. For mindset offer, it could be they have the potential for more, but they are not able to see that potential. It could be the revenue being stuck despite not knowing enough. Despite knowing enough, it could be being disappointed in their revenue despite others quite literally dreaming of that. So you just run through a laundry list of all of your problems, right? So all of the not your problems, the problems that your clients are actually facing, right? So number 7 is going to be, what is the primary way that you actually get results for your clients? This is something called a mechanism, right? The big mistake that people make here is giving the mechanism a fancy name that no one understands, and then they go ahead to also never break that down. They never break that down. They just give you the name and like, hey, listen, just figure out the name, okay? This is the name right here, just figure it out. That is a huge mistake, okay? Your mechanism should make sense after someone reads it, and if it doesn't, then you break that down. So for a trading offer, the mechanism could literally be, the smart trading blueprint. For a wholesaling offer, it could be the open market wholesale system. For a mindset offer, the mechanism could be removing subconscious blocks, which is quite direct, but needs still a little bit of breaking down. So always make sure you keep this in mind. If you have a fancy name for your mechanism, make sure you're breaking it down so people actually understand what it is, because I can tell you how many landing pages I've seen and it's like the double stuffed Oreo mechanism. I'm like, bro, tell me something, like what am I missing? You don't want to leave anything up for interpretation whatsoever. Now, the number 8 is going to be your relatable and contextual case studies. This is so important, right? Your case studies should relate to the problems or the outcomes that your ideal client is looking for. Video interviews work the best. Testimonials also work good. Screenshots work as well. Text reviews also work, to be honest. Some examples for a trading offer could be a case study like this. So what we like to focus on is number 1, the name, number 2, the transformation, number 3, the quote from the client or the video. These are the 3 things that people care about: the name, the transformation, and the quote. So the name is obviously going to be the name of the person, whatever that is. The transformation is going to be something like this, like from being unprofitable for 4 years to $84,000 in payouts in 8 months, completely replacing his online income with trading. The quote from the video could be, I've been with XYZ program for about 8 months now. I'm a profitable trader. I made about $84,000 in payouts so far. For the open market wholesaling offer, again, I need to slow down a bit, okay? This is just a YouTube video. I don't care about retention. I don't care about none of that. Okay, let's get back to the video. So I play around too much sometimes, right? So, open market wholesaling offer is going to be a case study. The name of the person, obviously, the transformation, which is here, is going to be name. Let's say Brad. Brad used the wholesale launchpad system to close $40,000 and create his 9 to 5. The quote from the client on the video could be, we can go anywhere in the world right now and do nice things. We cannot do without you guys. For the mindset offer, you have the name of the person, you have the transformation, which is a sales trainer who was stuck at 15,000 pounds a month, and then 12 months later hit $100,000 a month. And the quote from the video could be, I was making 10K a month, working 9 to 12 hours a day, and a year later I'm making 100K a month, working 3 to 4 hours per day. Cash is flowing, I work when I want, and I've been hitting the best months in my business, okay? Now, number 9 is going to be your questions and objections. I can tell you how many people fuck this up, literally. So this can be gathered from your sales calls and your conversations with clients, and they're so simple as well. So these have to be real, nothing should literally be made up. For example, a client said to me, what do you mean when you said there needs to be a face in the VSL? I'm like, okay, cool. So some people do not want to be in the VSL, so I have to proactively go out there and actually say, hey, do you need me to film the VSL? And if they say no, then we have to break it down to them. Actually, no, I take that back. So I'm like, so that is a question that I'm going to be adding to my questions and objections list. This is 10:30 p.m. My brain is tweaking just slightly, but I'm still going to deliver the sauce to you. It's not going to stop me, okay? So examples for a trading offer is going to be, what if I do everything right and still not make money? Number 2 could be, I'm worried that this is going to be too complex. And number 3 is going to be, can I start next month? For a wholesaling offer, it could be, how much do your PPC leads cost? Is it done for you? How fast do people typically see results? What's the average fee for innovation? How much do you need to spend every month for Google PPC? For your mindset offer, it could be, this is going to work for me. Do I get to talk to you after? How long are the calls? How do the calls work? Etc., etc. So you actually need to pull this from actual conversations that you're having with clients or from your sales calls. It's pretty simple. It's very simple. Do not make anything up whatsoever. Also sit down there sometimes and think, okay, what could my prospects be going through right now? And you can figure it out yourself as well. So, but it always makes sense to pull directly from the mouth of your customers. Now, the next is going to be, is your offer a commoditized or non-commoditized offer? Now, offers usually fall into these 2 categories, right? Of course, there's context, there's nuance, but usually it's either your offer is commoditized or it's not. So a commoditized offer is one where the inherent value is known. For example, trading, cold email, paid ads, right? People know exactly what they get for the offer, right? With trading, they make more money. With cold email, they book more calls. Now, for non-commoditized offer, it will be something where the inherent value isn't known right off the bat, and people need a little bit more education to actually show them, like tell them what they actually get from buying the software. So an example would be a mindset or frequency elevation offer. We have a client, and that space is basically the biggest in the space, and with that offer, you need to explain to people, okay, some people don't even know they have like a mindset problem, or they have like a subconscious block. So we need to fix that. We need to explain to them, hey, listen, you actually have this thing, and this is why, you feel this way, right? So you can also have a mix of the two, where you add in a new mechanism to a commoditized offer to make it seem brand new as well. So for a trading offer, we can classify that as commoditized. For an open market wholesaling, it's in between, and the reason I say it's in between is because wholesaling is pretty well known, but then when you add in a mechanism that kind of makes it a little bit more new, makes it sound brand new, then you need to go in and explain what that mechanism is. So that's in between. In my world, at least, that's what I'll classify it as. And then for the mindset offer, that's non-commoditized, because there's not a lot of people selling this. People don't really know if they have the problem. Of course, like the whole manifestation space is huge, but again, it's like, the people really understand what subconscious blocks are. Some people do, a lot of people don't. So we have to break that down for them. So I would put that in the non-commoditized section, right? So who are your avatars? Number 11. So your avatar is ideally someone who is qualified, who has bought your offer in the past, who has the problem, and it's also going to be typically financially qualified for your offer. So, and the reason we need to identify this is that we want to identify our most profitable avatars and then go after them immediately in our landing page copy. Apologies. So, and also, my bad. This video has been the best video I've ever made, to be honest. Just being myself. So, I don't even know if that's going to be edited out, but that's just okay. Anyway, so we also want to have other avatars that we can explore, and essentially, when you're scripting out your avatars, it's going to look something like this. But wholesaling is going to be, avatar 1, someone who has tried wholesaling but doesn't like cold calling and doesn't like to generate leads, doesn't know how to generate the leads, and nothing has really worked for them. Avatar 2 is going to be someone who's tired of traditional jobs and is seeking real estate opportunities to acquire freedom. Avatar 3 is going to be someone who knows about wholesaling but needs hand-holding through the first deal to build their war chest. For a mindset offer, your avatars are going to be someone who is tried to work harder to make more money but has gotten no results, someone who has tried changing methods, strategies, and tactics but has gotten no results, someone who knows with the knowledge and skills that they have should be further ahead than they actually are, but they're not, right? So, and then the most important section for your conversions is you're above the fold. This is where we get into the meaty stuff, which is actually simple to implement once you have all of these things that I mentioned above listed out. This is like your onboarding into this YouTube video. This is your onboarding. You just need to do that. Once you figure that out, then you can go to the next section. If you haven't, just go back, watch the video. And by the way, I don't mean to scream at you by any means. I respect your time sitting down here watching this video. I truly appreciate that, right? So, but first off, just watch that first section, fill all of those out, figure out what that is before you go forward and continue watching this. So anyways, if you've done that, then you can come back, you can start doing this. So the most important section for your conversions, which is going to be your above the fold, and by far the most important thing here is your headline. And you probably know this already because you probably know some marketing principles, or maybe not, but your headline is quite literally the most important part of your above the fold, as you would have guessed, and your landing page as a whole. So a couple things that you need to have for a good headline are a mechanism, a time frame, simplicity. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. I can't emphasize this enough. Like, you need so much simplicity and clarity in your headline and in your overall copy as well. The next is going to be your core outcome and the benefits of the outcome. So if there's room, we can add this to the headline. Otherwise, we can always add this to the subheadline, or maybe even emphasize that on the actual body copy, right? The big thing with the headline is, and your copy in general, is that you should leave no space for interpretation whatsoever. Everything should be clearly broken down. It should be crystal clear. I really didn't understand what people meant by crystal clear until I started writing a lot of the copy for my agency. And it's really you need to break things down to literally grade 4 reading level. You need to break it down so that even the dumbest person in the room is going to walk in and understand what you sell and be able to make a decision whether they want your offer or not. That is what we're doing essentially. Copy is not that complicated. It's literally just putting points together, figuring out what people need, and then putting it on a page as to how you can logically help them solve that problem in a way that actually makes them understand that you understand the problems, you actually know what outcomes that they're looking for, right? So when you have these elements in your headline, or at least most of them, it just works, right? So, and it doesn't matter if you can have everything. A lot of times you're not going to have all of them in the headline, but those are some things that you need to pay attention to, right? So, for examples, in our open market wholesaling example here, in 30 days or less, our open market wholesaling system will help you sign your next contract and close 10 to 20K wholesale deals, proven across 250 students. So, breakdown is a clear time frame, 30 days, mechanism, open market wholesale system. The direct outcome is there, help you sign your next contract, and then the proof is there as well, right? So, and we're going to talk about some more things as well with the sub-headline and the eyebrow. For the mindset offer, your headline, in 45 days or less, I'm going to remove your subconscious blocks, limitations, beliefs, and elevate your frequency so you become who you want to be and smash through your revenue ceiling without working harder. So you can see here, clear time frame, mechanism, direct outcome, and objection handling. So your trading offer. If you're still not funded, give me 90 days and I'll take you from struggling to consistent using my daily sweep trading system and personally trade with you until you get funded, guaranteed. So breakdown, problem, time frame, direct outcome, mechanism, and direct outcome again, and objection handling plus a guarantee. You can see how many things we have stacked in there. And the whole goal is that this is going to be loaded with information so that when someone sees this, they almost always know if this is actually going to help them without having to scroll and read through the entire page. They almost always know that this can help them, right? So because we've given them a lot of information about how long it takes, how we do it, what results they can get, and once you load that into your headline, literally take this, try to make a headline around this. Once you filled out all of those things for your offer, try to make a headline using these things that I've pointed out right here. And that's how you create a really, really good headline that is going to resonate with your prospects. And you can see it's straightforward. Again, it's not simple to make these things. You have to do it a couple of times, iterate upon it, and you're going to get there for sure. You're going to get to the point where you have a headline that actually is very clear, has a clear mechanism that you actually explain how you get the results. You have a clear time frame. It's simple to understand. It has a core outcome and the benefits as well. Now, talking about the eyebrow is basically the text that you have above your headline. So this, for example, right? So ideally what we want to do with your eyebrow here is just call out who you're trying to sell to. So that could be a direct call out like we have here, like for 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs only. Or it could be something that identifies what problems that they're facing right now. Let me sit up straight. So it could be something that represents the problems that they're facing right now, or maybe some actions that they're taking right now. Those are called problem or action identifiers. Right? So, but again, in this case, I've chosen to opt for this because again, this offer is something that could apply to a lot of people, but we only and specifically want to go after 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs. So that is why we're stating it here directly. If you're making less than 7 figures, then this is not for you, right? So that is why we're doing this here. If your offer is similar, then you do the same thing. But if your offer is something where it's inherently known that, okay, this is for this type of people, let's say coaches, for example, you don't need to go out and call out coaches, consultants. You can literally just do, hey, if you're facing this specific problem right now, you can do that because that's going to make way more sense because anyone who's landing on a page already knows this is for coaches. So there's really no point of you saying, hey, this is for coaches and consultants. Again, it's redundant and it's just, you can use that space as something else, okay? And then with the subheadlines, really we like to, expand on really what the mechanism is. That's what we like to do a lot of times. Or we just show more proof like here. We're saying this is used by 157 to 9 figure entrepreneurs, Hollywood actors and athletes who are killing it on paper and to everyone around them, but it was stuck at $1 million revenue ceiling and felt like they're potentially capped. So it's basically just expanding on what we've already talked about here because we've given them the mechanism, we've given them how we're going to get the results and the outcome and the benefits of the outcome as well, which is smashing through the revenue ceiling. And here we're just giving them some proof and just kind of expanding on what the problem is. Right. So again, there's many ways you could do this. It's very contextual, but again, it's your headline. Your headline is the most important thing here, and then maybe even your eyebrow. But the most important thing here is your headline by far. Right. So that's why we have it covered here. The next is going to be your clean, custom branded, mobile first design. Now, imagine your cold prospect actually just scrolling Instagram or Facebook, and you see an ad, it grabs your attention, you click, and then you land on the page. No custom branding whatsoever. What's your first impression of that business? Do you want to work with them more or less? And by the way, I paraphrase this from my guy, my really good friend, Evan Seach. So this is what 90% of people running ads do not get at all. Your landing page is the first impression for cold traffic. This is a really good tweet, so I had to like put it in here, right, from Evan. So with branding, you have to keep it clean, simple, professional. It doesn't have to be anything complex. It doesn't have to be complex animations. It doesn't have to be crazy gradients. It doesn't have to be a mixture of like different colors or like color schemes. It doesn't have to be any of that. It can literally be so dead simple. It can literally be so simple and professional, just clean, right? So color scheme that is easy to look at, your landing page optimized for mobile, your headline, your VSL, CTA should all show up when someone lands on the page so they don't have to scroll. When someone clicks through from your ad, you should assume that they want to book a call. So we need to make that super easy and frictionless for them. We need to make sure that, you know, there's good contracts on the page so that they can read everything clearly. Nothing is, you know, hard to read or difficult to understand. We make sure all of those things are there. We make sure that the page is actually optimized so that when someone is viewing the page on mobile, they have the CTA there, they have all of the information that they need to be able to say, hey, I want to click through and I actually want to book a call with this guy. That's what you want to achieve with your design. It needs to be really simple. If you take a look at this page right here, again, I'm only showing you this because you're watching this video, you've only stayed to this part. So good on you for that. You can see how clean this video is. Forgive me. This funnel page right here, okay, you see it's really clean, really straightforward, like nothing crazy, right? We literally, this is like a gradient. It still looks good, you know, but it's literally the simplest thing ever. Okay, so just make sure you're doing that. Make sure it's mobile optimized, and then the next is going to be to streamline your Typeform. So you can either embed this on the page or have a button pop this up, because Typeform is really weird. Like when you get past, you know, 500, 600 pixels, it starts, you know, looking really messy. So as a pop-up, just keep this at 500 pixels height and make sure your prospects can exit the form, or you're going to annoy them. Because if you go back here and we click, you can easily just exit the form. If you click on the X, we can easily just exit the form, right? So keep your Typeform as well to 3 to 5 questions max. And first, your question should be, your first question should be a quick win type of answer. And we have some examples here. I'm going to link the document if you want to get that. So this is an answer. This is an answer that they can easily select a yes or no to, right? So you can see this here for one of the offers that we're running. How would you best describe yourself? And then they go through like different options there. So the goal here is to disqualify people and also qualify people. So if someone says, I'm not interested in wholesaling here, we say no, we just take them out. And for this, are you currently running ads? If someone says yes, we let them continue. If they say no, it kick them out of the form. If they say I'm looking to start, then we let them continue. Now, the next is going to be to collect your contact information as individual fields. Do not do the contact info cards. We see higher completion rates with separate fields. And you're also going to add in a partial submit point after you collect your contact information. So your first name, your last name, phone number, email address, simple stuff, and then you add in a partial submit point. That is what we see the best results with. The next is going to be for you to qualify financially. So we don't only want to qualify for intent, we want to filter for leads who are actually financially qualified. Who, number one, have the problem, and number two, have the capital to be able to afford, you know, the solution, right? So this means leads who have the problem and a capital to afford it. Very simply, we do not want to qualify just for intent. We do want some level of intent. And also, the most important thing there is that they have the problem that we're trying to solve. If they do not have the problem, then they do not have any business with the Typeform whatsoever. Now, depending on the offer as well, you can ask for how much revenue, how much risk capital that they have available to invest. And examples of some ways that you could do this are below. So you can see an example attached here below. What is your monthly revenue? And by the way, you can just grab this in the description. I'm just going to put it down for you there. So given that we can help you sign your next contract and close your next $10,000 to $20,000 wholesale deal, how much risk capital do you currently have available to invest in your education? So 0 to 1K, 1 to 4K, 4 to 10K, 10 to 15K, 15K plus. This as well is what is your monthly revenue? So less than 50K, 50 to 100K, 100K to 250K, 250K to 500K, 500K plus. I might be a rapper right now, dog. Okay, so the next is going to be to disqualify using something we call a honeypot question. I did not invent this, by the way. Credit to, I think, Jeremy Haynes, or like someone created this, but it's really good. So say someone selects a revenue range or risk capital level that isn't aligned with what you would call a qualified prospect. You send them to a honeypot question. And the goal of this question is to see if, regardless of them not being at the qualification range that you would ideally want to work with, do they have any buying intent? That's what we want to see. So if they click yes, we let them book. Otherwise, we do not let them book whatsoever. So some examples below, the one-on-one mentorship, Is a multi-four-figure investment? Is this something that makes sense for you at your current stage? We have financing options available. Financing, we love that. Okay. Now, I'll try to collect as much cash as possible. But again, if you see some people who you probably can help and they could access some financing options, then of course go for it. So it's pretty huge in the info space right now. Anyways, yeah, okay. So this is another example here. Installing a fully optimized cold traffic funnel into your business requires an investment anywhere from 5 to 15K. Given we're fit to work together and everything is aligned, this is a comfortable investment. Okay. And then the next is going to be your case studies. We talked about this. So your case studies, you have to be very strategic. So only use case studies that are relevant to the outcomes that your clients actually care about, right? So again, just like we went through there are only 3 things your ICP cares about with case studies: that they are real, number one, that they have outcomes that they're looking for, and there's some sort of relevant quote statements extracted from the case study directly. So a name, this could be an example, right? We already went through this, and you want to stack as many of this as possible to crush skepticism about any efficacy of your product, right? People consume these a lot. Like if you look at the heat maps on your page right now, people consume the case studies a lot. So this can help you build a ton of trust really fast when you select the right ones, and don't just cherry pick the best ones. Just pick the ones that are most relatable to your ICP and then go from there. And then number 4 is going to be your structure and your messaging. So stick to one main avatar. Let me show you an example of the case studies that I'm talking about right here. So here we have a client from 50 to 90 a.m. in 4 months. We have the quotes and we have the name. We have the quotes and we have the name. Literally for every single person, it's done that way for a reason. Okay, so structure and messaging. So with your messaging and your structure, you want to stick to just one main avatar. This does not mean that you exclude other avatars and you're not speaking to them. When you're speaking to the avatar that has the highest probability of actually buying from you, then that way you're setting yourself up to make more money. But at the same time, you're still speaking to the pain points and the situations and outcomes that apply to the other avatars as well. It doesn't mean you exclude them. It just means you're speaking directly to the person who has the highest probability of working with you. Okay, so look at your avatar's document and figure out what is the most profitable to go after, and then write to them. It's usually going to be someone who knows they have a problem and is in market for a solution right now. That's usually who you're going to find the most profitable for your business, even if you look right now. Now, after you have the first 4 components figured out, okay, was this 4? Okay, actually we need to change this to 5. So the rest of your page should just be like a logical through line from where your customer is and where they want to be. For example, if you sell a commoditized offer like trading, you can literally just follow like a dead simple structure, right? So it could literally be just case studies, problems, you break them down, the benefits, you break them down, and then you give them the offer. So we're going to walk through an example here for one of our clients we're actually walking through. I'll show you what we're talking about, okay? So literally revealing everything for you guys here. So you can see here, we have the simple headline, sub-headline, blah, blah, the good stuff. We have case studies, we have problems, we have benefits and how we solve the problem, and then we have literally just the offer. Then we have the guarantees, brief story, this really don't matter that much. Then we have the FAQs, literally, right? So again, this works for commoditized offers because people already know what the inherent value is, okay? And then if you sell an offer that needs more education, you can go into more false solution style structure. So case studies, problems, the false solutions and the benefits before you give the offer, because there's a knowledge gap there that we need to fill. And if we don't fill that, then we can take the person to the next step. Okay, so an example here is going to be for this, for one of our clients. So you can see, so we have all of the proof here stacked, and then we go into the problem. So you work hard, you have the strategies, you're already successful, you have the skills and knowledge. And then we go into the false solution. Right? What is the reason why you can't break through revenue ceiling? Right? We break down, okay, this is what you think it is, but it's not actually that, it's this. And then we go into how we're going to remove the subconscious blocks, which is actually how do we help them solve the problems, and from there we go into the benefits, right? So we're going to the benefits here, we tell them how we're going to solve the problems. So from false solutions, we're going to the solutions, and then we tell them, what happens after we solve the problem. And then we're going to the offer. And then we're going to some, extra copy here just to kind of, I'm not a copywriter by trade, but there's something this is called, I don't know what it is. I wrote all of this, by the way, but I can't remember what that is. I'm sorry about that. So structure is also determined by the awareness level of your ICP. And the closer that you tailor your structure to the awareness level of the prospect, which is aka what they want to see, the more they're going to resonate and the more that they're going to convert. Oh my God. So number 6 is the FAQ. Now, this is the piece that prospects love, absolutely love to consume. But a lot of people fall short on the FAQs, I'll tell you that. I see a lot of FAQs that are just a bunch of questions that don't really even matter to the prospect who's watching the video, who's on the funnel. So think about it. How many more people will buy your offer if they had just a few right questions just answered for them? So, and this is why your FAQs are key, because when you analyze the heat maps, people consume them a ton. Okay. So your first 4 questions are the most important. Use this. So what is this exactly? Who's this for? Why is this different? What exactly do I get? And this is necessary because your prospects are going to skim your page. And if they happen to skim to the bottom of the page without consuming the entire page, we still want them to understand what you sell at a base level. Now, instead of random questions, using these 4 strategic questions so that they know exactly what you're about. Okay, they know what you do, they know who you are, they know what you actually give them. Right? So that's how you make a high converting FAQ question. Now, if you need help, just click the link in the description or just click the link in the document, whichever one you prefer, and just book in a call with me and we'll see if we can help you. With that being said, just subscribe, like this video if you found any value whatsoever, and I'm going to see you in the next one, my friend. Thank you for watching to the end. Voila.